Now, one of the stats I saw that quite surprised me was some 1.2 million civil servants in Yemen. They're not being paid, but they go to work every day. Now, I mean, you're obviously working with a lot of these people. What's keeping them going?
Many things keep them going, actually. One is just a sense of responsibility. They know that they're the ones that are keeping people alive. If they're working in a hospital or they're teachers, educating a new generation. So they continue to try to do what they can. But there are limits to that, and bit by bit, people do stop coming to work. And often, if they are replaced, they're replaced by people who are less competent. And my real concern is, well, threefold, actually. People who are not paid don't really have the means to support their own family. So that's the first problem. The second is that this public service servants are the ones who actually deliver much of the assistance that we provide through the funding that we provide for medication and for schools, but we still need the teachers, we still need the health workers to actually deliver it. If we lose them, then our ability to support the population also collapses. And finally, over time, you will lose the competence, the organizational capability that actually existed before the war. And even though after the war you can rebuild the infrastructure, and that's fairly easy, rebuilding human capital, the people that have been lost because of the conflict, is much more difficult and will make the recovery even longer. So for multiple reasons, we need to work, and we're looking to work with both the governments but also with international partners on how we can overcome that particular problem. I see it as one of the more serious problems that the country faces today. I've had many experiences in other countries where conflict continues for decades, 20 years, 25 years. And what you see in civil wars of that nature is a transformed country. You see a young generation, or even two, that know nothing of peace, only war, only conflict, that don't have a basic education or even economic opportunities. And so what they know is violence. And so you have it with that, the collapse of infrastructure, a loss of the public sector, and all of that leads to a very difficult and transformed country. And often these countries revert back to conflict because of these conditions. And I worry about Yemen in that regard. After 7 years, it's still possible to recover. But if it goes on much longer, it will be on the path I've just described, where you'll have a country that's actually quite transformed, and peace very difficult to reestablish, and internal conflicts persisting. So we really have a very narrow window in which to find peace in Yemen, or we will go down that more dangerous path.